Hi, I'm James. And I'm Semjax. Wait, what? Oh no, is this a Kingdom Hearts build? I was created when you passed through the gate to Kingdom Hearts and your body was left behind before your Heartless was collected by Xemnas and the organization revealed its true
Hello, I'm David,
And I'm the real James. Welcome to Make Do.
where we make unique projects inspired by our favorite movies, TV shows, and video games.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date on all of our upcoming projects.
Today we'll be making Sora's Keyblade from the Kingdom Hearts series.
We found a great 3D printed kit on Adafruit's site from the Ruiz Brothers. We'll have a link in the description.
As well as links to all the materials we'll be using in this project.
These are affiliate links, so we get a small kickback if you purchase something. This helps to support future projects.
The kit breaks the Keyblade down into smaller parts that, once printed, will just snap and screw together.
We went ahead and printed all the parts in PLA on our Prusa i3 Mark III.
The Ruiz Brothers did an amazing job designing these files, making assembly pretty straightforward, with most of the pieces having registration keys for alignment. The two halves of the guard are designed to house threaded inserts and bolt together. We'll be using blue painter's tape for now. The three pieces of the shaft have integrated threads and simply screw together. And then the keyboards slot into the shaft and will eventually be capped off. Then this small connector fits the blade to the handle. And there you have it, a finished Keyblade. We can easily print each piece in the correct color filament, put it together, and be done. However, of course, we're going to have to make it difficult and sand, prime, paint, and glue this whole thing together to make something a little more stunning. Shoo, take that, Heartless. So let's take it apart and get to work. I start with some pre-assembly. By gluing the shaft together now, we can start blending the seams together while we sand in the next step. Look, you know by now we don't like layer lines.
We also don't like sanding, but we hate layer lines more.
This is the sad reality of 3D prints. Let's get sanding. Now that we've given everything a first pass of sanding, I'm going to do a little bit more pre-assembly. The keyboards slot in easy enough. This cap then holds everything in. Just takes a little force. Then to make sure everything is secure, I'm going to be using a little liquid CA glue. This stuff goes everywhere, so I'm extra careful. It does a great job getting into every crack and making sure the pieces are secure. Of course, plenty of activator. Then I add the final connector to the base of the blade, making sure to get plenty of glue on the threads. Now I can move on to the guard and handle. I glue these small connectors using the registration keys to keep things aligned and secure. I then glue the handle in the same way. Finishing with the cap at the bottom. Then both sides of the guard can be sandwiched together. I fill any small gaps with the liquid CA glue, applying pressure and activator as I go. The final part is to add the keyring to the end with some more CA glue, taking care to keep things aligned, as best I can. And now we can get back to sanding, or maybe a quick nap.
For the second round of sanding, we're going to be focusing on blending all the seams from the freshly glued parts. This takes a little time, but the extra effort now will make a big difference later. I'm done, see ya.
Okay, we're ready for primer. All yours, James.
So, about our primer. We've been using what we thought was filler primer since we started this channel, and even before that. We just now realized we weren't actually using filler primer, just automotive primer. So yeah, we're gonna give this Keyblade a coat of actual filler primer.
You guessed it, more sanding.
This time using plastic wood filler to fill any gaps or open seams.
We'll also be using the plastic wood to fill the holes intended for screws. We use glue instead. Again? Once I finished all of the sanding, we can move on to another coat of primer. There you go, I gotta go grab something real quick.
Okay. While David's being mysterious, I give the pieces a buffing with steel wool. This will help give us a smooth painted finish.
Oh, nice. I have one too now. Because
What?
it's the sequels and everybody gets a Keyblade.
For my Keyblade, I'm going to exclusively use rattle cans to paint. I'll be using this oil rubbed bronze for the handle, metallic silver for the blade, metallic gold for the guard, and this metallic glitter blue for this small connector piece.
For mine, I'm going to be trying some more realistic finishes. On the blade, I will be doing gloss white and graphite powder, just like we did for our Master Sword build. For the handle, I'll be using the same oil rubbed bronze paint that James is using, as well as the glitter blue for the connector. For the gold, I'm going to be putting down an undercoat of red and then using gold leafing for the whole guard. The red undercoat should give the gold a richer color, similar to the set of Loki horns we made.
I started by painting the whole blade silver as well as giving the handle a coat of the oil rubbed bronze. Now I need to mask off these areas and do the next coat, starting with the blade. Just this small piece needs to be blue, so I'll be masking off the rest of the blade with blue painter's tape and some masking paper. I do the same with the handle, masking off the portions I want to keep black. Then I'm ready for more paint.
What he said. Before I can mask off the blade, I need to apply the graphite. Just like our Master Sword build, we went with white to make the finish more silver. I will never get tired of this process. A few of you have been asking if we seal the graphite afterwards, and we actually don't. Both our Mando helmet and our Master Sword have held up just fine. Just don't cut any cake with it. Now that the blade is all shiny and beautiful, I just need to mask off the blue sections just like James did.
Our paint has dried and now we get to do the most satisfying part.
I clean up any scratches with a Q-tip and a little bit of graphite powder. With my red paint dry, I can apply the gold leafing. I learned from painting Loki's horns that the red undercoat gives the gold a deeper, richer color, and the gloss paint will help the gold leaf appear more smooth. To apply gold leaf, I start by painting on a coat of metal leaf size, basically glue specifically made for metal leafing. I use a cheap throwaway brush because this is glue and will not be the nicest thing to a brush. I apply a thin, even coat. Once it's dry, I grab a soft, semi-stiff brush and my gold leafing. This is of course imitation gold leaf. Could you imagine? I place the leafing on the glued area and I use my brush to apply pressure. I go back and fill any missing areas with more size, and then go back in with more leafing, covering any gaps that I might have missed. I continue over the whole surface until I have a uniform finish. This finish is only halfway done, but it is stunning.
My handle's a little simpler to finish. After the gold paint is dried, I can take off the final bit of masking. I'm really loving the contrast between the handle and the guard.
And now, finally, it's time for assembly. All I need to do is glue the blade to the handle, making sure to keep everything aligned. I'm avoiding activator on this one just because I'm not sure what it's going to do with the gold leaf or the graphite. There it is.
I assemble mine in the same way. This is probably the simplest assembly we've ever done. I have wanted a Keyblade for the past 19 years.
Same, it is such an iconic and satisfying project.
And it's so cool to actually have two Keyblades in front of us right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with how these came out. The gold leaf and the graphite look great, but honestly, I think yours fits the theme a lot better.
I agree. The rattle can approach matches that bolder, more cartoonish colors that appear in the actual game. Let us know which finish you prefer in the comments. We did end up making the keychain portion,
but we weren't too happy with how they came out. We might try tackling these a little later in a future B-Sides episode.
We hope you give some of the techniques we used a try, or even make your own Keyblade.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date on all of our future builds.
We'll have a Pokemon project coming up, as well as another Star Wars build that is way out of our comfort zone. Thanks for watching.
See you in the next one.